Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Wrestling. I am your host and sole commentator for the evening, Fabian Valentine, and this is what the month has been building up to. We have a triple threat martial arts fight, where KO or submission is the only way. It is elimination. It will be Gojo, Sanji, and Skinny Arm Steve all competing, for the social media internet mid-card championship. Now remember, in this match you have three martial artists fighting against each other. Sanji, master of, I believe his fighting style is based on capoeira. I hope I'm saying that right. In other words, for for people that don't know the terminology, Sanji does kicks, Steve does the punches, and Gojo, I believe the name of his martial arts style is, I want to say Wing Chun? Don't get mad at me if I'm wrong on that. I had only actually heard that his fighting style is based on something fairly recently, and yeah. But anyways, regardless, you have three people all skilled in martial arts, 15 minutes on the clock, and remember, Skinny Arm Steve's champion's advantage is this: if we make it to a time limit draw and the match has come to an end, he just retains. He has the biggest advantage out of anyone here. Sanji, of course, coming in with a chip on his shoulder, losing the belt, being unable to wow, my gosh! What a kick by Sanji. Anyways, as I was saying, being unable to being unable to defend the title successfully even once, and then Gojo winning a number one contenders match against Saitama. And now, this is where they settle it. We're kind of sick of the rematch clauses. This belt has kind of been hot potatoed to a certain degree, so the stipulation has been added as of tonight that there is no rematch clauses for this belt in this match. So if Steve loses it and he wants another shot to get it back, he's got to earn that opportunity. He doesn't just get a rematch clause for that. Sanji with Gojo and side control. And here's the thing about this match, folks. It is elimination. So, as you can see, Sanji with Gojo in submission hold. Steve was just watching on. Steve has no obligation and really no incentive to break up any holds. The same way how if Gojo had Steve in a hold or Sanji had Steve in a hold, there's no incentive to break up submission attempts. There's no incentive to break up, KO attempts. Hang on a second. Look at that figure four locked in on the long limbs of Gojo. That's the thing, when you use a figure four leg lock, the bigger your opponent, the longer the appendages of your opponent, the more devastating that move is. Kind of, I think the closest equivalent to that, at least with arms, would be a cross-arm breaker. If you have a bigger arm, it hurts a lot more if someone's able to pull that into full extension. And now, Skinny Arm Steve with Gojo in a submission attempt. Of our cameraman's not really doing the best job. We might need to look into hiring a new one. Oh gosh! What a maneuver by Sanji, but I don't think he was able to catch any of them with it. Look at this. Choking. It seems like Steve and Sanji might have oh, never mind. I was going to say they might have an unwritten alliance there to eliminate Gojo and then fight amongst themselves. A missile dropkick to my fellow commentator there, who I think he's having some microphone issues. Actually, no. That is me. I'm mad about you breaking my chair. Cameraman, get out of the way. You're just looking at Gojo's back. Also appears the other commentator with a broken microphone while still in a chair has fused with his desk. So that's gonna be interesting. Northern Lights suplex to Skinny Arm Steve on the concrete. We are currently 10.5 minutes left on the clock, and so far, all three men are still standing and healthy. You know, in this match, you know, you want to wear down your opponent, but you have to be cognizant of the time limit. You know, 15 minutes to knock out two people, that's not as much time as you might think. Steve, I think, has the highest advantage. The odds are on his favor in the imaginary betting, you know, sports, in the imaginary sports betting. I would put Skinny Arm Steve as the favorite. Oh, goodness gracious. What a thunderous kick to Skinny Arm Steve. Of course, Gojo being forced to deactivate his infinity. You know, a lot of people in the anime community might think that Gojo's a bit of a pushover without that ability. And while that ability is quite powerful, Gojo is no slouch when it comes to fighting. And I think he's pretty definitively proven that here. I think he is, health-wise, the man that's taken the least amount of damage. You know, Sanji and Steve have really taken a beating in the 10 minutes... not 10 minutes, sorry, in the 6 minutes that have passed in this match. But I think... I wonder if Gojo kind of almost relishes in the fact that he's underestimated in this match. I mean, given how he is in Jujutsu Kaisen, I think he might be a little annoyed at that, but if you ask me, it plays to his... It works to his advantage, because they don't take him seriously, and that's what allows him to get the upper hand. And now Gojo with a broken light tube, using that to just brutalize his enemies, because that's the thing with this being a martial arts fight. This is a no-rules martial arts fight. Think about it like a Cell Games type of deal. I don't actually remember if the Cell Games allowed weapons, but the point being, as long as the men in this match are able to leave with their lives intact, pretty much anything is allowed. Oh my goodness, Sanji going for a Hurricane Rana to Skinny Arm Steve, but Steve turning that into a power bomb. And the thing with Skinny Arm Steve, those arms might be skinny, but the rest of him is strong. Look at that right hand. Gojo with a back suplex to Skinny Arm Steve. And then oh gosh, shot down below to the belt. You ever wonder if maybe this is what was actually happening in the prison realm? He just randomly became a professional wrestler. I know that's not, but it'd be kind of funny if it was. Hang on, look at this. Oh, look at that leapfrog. Gojo able to dodge the kick by Sanji. Sanji going for another kick, but Gojo able to duck it. Our referee climbing the ladder. Is he going to go for a top rope pin count? No, thinking better of it. Sanji's being picked up. Look at this. Double team maneuver attempt, but I don't know if the muscles of Steve allowed him to escape that, but Steve is not feeling all that great right now. I think he's quite weakened. It might only take a few big moves to put him out of this. But however, Steve has brass knuckles now. And a man like Skinny Arm Steve, who is already one of the most prolific hand-to-hand like strikers in our company, brass knuckles are a dangerous thing. But hang on, Gojo beating him with a ring bell, punching or kicking him down below the belt. Steve is in trouble. Our defending champion really only needs to be hit by one big move. And that may have been it, but Gojo missing, and then Sanji missing, I believe that was a front flip leg drop. Now submission, I think that's a Kimura, but once again our cameraman is failing to capture the submission. What is this camera angle? Look at that super kick attempt, but Gojo blocking it with a belt and then you may be using cursed energy to fling Sanji into the ring. Backslide pin attempt, but there are no pinfalls in this match. It is knockout or submission. That's it. We're getting close to the 5-minute mark. Remember, if this match has not come to an end, even if Steve is eliminated, let me just put that into perspective. Look at that. Gojo launched out of the ring. Even if Steve is the first person eliminated, if Sanji and Gojo aren't able to put each other away before the time limit expires, Steve retains. That's the champion's advantage. Right, oh gosh. Steve has the brass knuckles again. Hanging on to that, you know, shades of I think his name in this is Rupert Royal, William Regal, the power of the punch. Look at that. What the... Hey, what happened to the lights? Please, I'm afraid of the dark. Well, at least Steve's hair glows in the dark. Huh. I never noticed that the monitor in the arena actually does show stills from the match. Anyways, 4 minutes on the clock. I don't know what the heck has happened to the lights, but I wonder if that's affecting. Hang on a second, look at that. Gojo went for a Hurricane Rana onto Sanji, but Sanji turning that into a Styles Clash. But now Gojo with an Imanari roll, locking in that knee bar to Sanji, and again, locking in a knee bar to someone like Sanji, who the bulk of their offense is kick-based. That is a dangerous thing for Sanji. Because if that leg takes too much damage, how is he going to use his trademark kicks? You know, it's a little hard to do a Diable Jambe if your ACL is stretched. I don't even think that stretches your ACL, I'm not entirely sure. And now our cameraman decided that recording the action from the audience was a good idea. Side note, does anyone want a job as a cameraman? Oh, and Gojo has tripped and fallen into the audience, but it looks like I think Steve and Gojo are trying to play a little game of hide and seek. You know, I as commentator, who's decided to just have a receding hairline this show, I've decided to get right into the action to really call this just kind of up close. I have the best seat in the house. Oh gosh, Sanji's been flung. Oh, diving elbow from the guardrail to Sanji in the audience. Sanji is dazed. I don't think it's going to take much more to put him out. But again, we have 2.5 minutes left. If we don't have a definitive winner, Steve retains. Sanji's been knocked out. The referee has called it. I don't know why Gojo is still fighting him. He needs to switch targets to Steve. But look at this, though. I think Gojo has the best shot of winning. Because Steve is also pretty hurt. Gojo and... Oh, look at that. Gojo, I think, was going to climb the guardrail for a diving move, but Steve with a punch to the... I believe that was to the solar plate, maybe the hamstrings? No, I'm not just throwing out random muscle names to seem smart. Don't ask. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, kicking him off again. This... Oh, look at that, though. Sanji's trying to attack Steve now that he's regained consciousness. I don't think that's the best idea. Look at that. Oh, Gojo taking advantage of that distraction. Look at that Northern Lights suplex. We're close to only a minute left on the clock. Can Gojo put out Skinny Arm Steve and become the new champion? He only has 60 seconds left to do it. Knocking him off the guardrail. Is that it? I guess we won't know if that's it, because the referee didn't check, but Skinny Arm Steve's okay. Look at that, though. Sanji! Sanji causing Gojo to win the championship! Oh my gosh, I mean, neither man is entitled to a rematch clause, but who knows, maybe a month or two from now, we might see those two face off. Anyways, folks, it's time for our main event. We saw this match as a tag team contest between the big boys and Team Incensed. Now we're going to see it as I believe, a singles match between Samara and Martini. Samara defending the interim women's championship. Of course, we still have no word on whether Midnight will be ready in time. I'm thinking that if she's not ready by the end of next month, we might have to vacate. We might have to just name Samara the true women's champion, but I don't think Samara would like that. Samara is such a warrior, you know, she's so strong, so powerful. I don't think she'd be satisfied with being champion that way. Look at that, though! Oh, our referees decided to play Wonderwall for us. Gut-wrench suplex by Samara. This is, you know, last match was a martial arts fight. This is just a barroom brawl, so to speak. Look at that, a snapmare through a table. Where will you see that kind of fighting, that kind of action? Belly to belly. Sorry, not a belly to belly. Bear hug locked in on Martini, wrenching the spine. Martini. Oh, look at that. Side headlock turned into a torture rack. What is the referee doing? Just hit a German suplex on one of the competitors. The hell is he thinking? Double clothesline interaction. Of course, this still being a title match, interim championship on the line, 15-minute time limit, crossface on Martini. Samara is showing domination in this match. This full Nelson. Locked in, rear naked choke. And I gotta say, like, all this big swing. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Samara just put Martini through 2 tables with a big swing, and somehow Martini's still fighting. I don't know how. So it's just been... I've just received word, folks, that if Midnight... Once the unification match will actually be a redo of the very match that caused this whole mess to begin with. For those of you that missed that match, it was a fatal 4-way last laugh match, I believe. It featured Martini, Samara, Lola, and Midnight. Midnight should have won that match, but the referee failed. Simply put, the referee, Jimmy Sierra, failed as a referee, which caused the wrong person to win. That led to the match that got Midnight injured, where Lola broke her arm. And it led to the naming of the interim champion, Samara, and it's led to this match. And, you know, I think if we end up seeing that rematch soon, that would be Martini's last chance to win the championship, because Samara is destroying her right now, plain and simple. This is a one-sided beatdown, even with, like, look at that. Have you ever seen a woman beat another woman with a magazine and have it look so effective? Ankle lock, locked in, facing a guitar, those steel strings are causing a damage. Now, I don't know what the heck that was, but it looked kind of cool, and it seemed to hurt both women. And that Martini trying to arm herself with weapons because that's really going to be her equalizer. Samsara is so powerful, so monstrous in her strength, her brutality, that the only real way to kind of help out, especially when you give up as much size as Martini does to Samsara, is to use weapons. Gut wrench suplex. And look at that, I think Samsara might be going to put Martini away. Hang on a second, smothering her. Look at this side control into a front face lock. And that is it, Samsara retains. She's still fighting! Awesome slam! My goodness, wait a minute, who's this? Oh my gosh, it's Midnight! We haven't seen her since February! The women's champion is back! Which means, folks, we're gonna see the titles unified. That rematch I was telling you about, Midnight, Lola, Samsara, and Martini, will happen the end of May. I can't believe she healed from a broken arm that fast. That is impressive. Like, folks, that's going to do it for this one. Please, if you liked that, leave a like for the return of the women's champion, if nothing else. Subscribe to the channel for more content. And until next time, this is Valentine, signing off.